Hey folks, Dude here. Start date, January 8th, year of our Lord, 2013. Status being, I'm hurting, man. I'm really hurting. I've been dealing with a sinus infection for a little while. Just give me a second here. Can barely taste the Kona coffee that I'm currently imbibing upon. Basically, the transition between the current house to the new house, it's been kind of like, something I've been busting my butt on, and I actually did it so much that I got myself sick, and that's never fun. So, kind of now trying to make do with, well, that which is available, also known as me just doing stuff. So, why am I on the deck of the Enterprise? Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a fun sound effect to have in the background versus, my usual kind of babbling on and not really anything else going on. But in terms of everything else I've been doing, it's been very low-key. It's been very behind the scenes and more on anythingprepping.com. You know it. You know it. Anythingprepping.com. Anythingprepping.com. Also known as Prepper Reality Network, which is now switching up to Prep Steading because they've really attached a stigma to that prepper type word, and it's stupid, okay? Anybody that basically was a survivalist or a prepper in the past was known as like a hermit or that guy or just somebody else that was just to be eschewed from normal society because they didn't follow the norms, they didn't follow the flock, they didn't step in the crap left over by everybody else. And I'm sorry, we're just individual thinkers. We just don't do stuff like that, okay? In terms of all the gun legislation going on, if you guys are not, and I do not say even lightly, but if you do not even ring their doors off the hinges with payload of mail, and you don't ring their phones off their desks with quantity of phone calls, and you don't fill their computers' servers up with emails, you're a dumbass, okay? And you're going to be a capital A dumbass, because you need to let these guys know no matter how much they posture in public. Here's a dirty little secret about a politician. Once he gets in, 75% of the rest of the time that he's in office, he wants to keep going to the parties. He wants to keep hanging out with the president. He wants to basically be that guy in the in-crowd so he can make as much multitasking as possible for things to really work out for him if he does get booted. And, of course, it imparts so much more money into his bank account. They don't want to leave, okay? Trust me. They're like roaches. Once they get into a place, they do not want to go. So make sure that in their home office, not just the Capitol switchboard, but in their home office, where you live, find out your contact information for your Congress critter, your senator, your all your representatives. Ring his bloody phone off the wall. Be a pest. Let him know you will not keep him in office. You will fire his ass. You do not want restrictive gun legislation contrary to the Second Amendment and any other part of the Constitution for any other liberties or personal liberties to be trod upon. You're going to tell these guys in no uncertain form, faction, bit, or any parcel thereof, you are not taking this crap laying down. Now, I've been very proactive on my Facebook. Whenever I find good links, I'll terrorize the internet, okay? I will go through probably 3 or 4 different blogs, 4 or 5 different forum boards. Any place else that jumps out at me, I will second source information. If anybody's offended by that, oh well, deal with it. If you've seen it before in the other forum board, oh well, that's cool too, but you now know basically where I'm getting some of my stuff. That's fine as well. I don't care. All I want is the information to be out there. The best venue is a free venue, which should also be Facebook. Okay, if you don't know my Facebook, here it is. Oh, gotta start the correct side. It is www.youtube.com/Dude Jerky. That is my page, okay? Now, also, of course, you're listening to me, watching me, taking part in all this fun folderol on the 80s Podcast channel. And I'm kind of doing more of an update video more than anything, but case in point, the channel is still growing. I think the way it is that YouTube's tweaked things around, I'm not getting as many comments for some reason. My comments are really floored out. I'm only getting maybe a few, max per day. But I'm getting a lot of views, okay? So I'm really not too terribly unappreciative of that. And if you guys basically got a question, go ahead and ask me a question. I do interact with people. If you look at Doc Simonson's latest video, I sent him a care package. Oh, man, I sent him a care package. That's right, Doc Simonson. I don't have the best frame rate on this camera. That's why it kind of really scrolls out a bit. But the long and the short is I always remember my buddies. I really, truly wish I could get a hold of, and I could talk to him yet again. My brother from another mother out in California, Mr. Wheelie 19. I've not seen hide nor hair of him for the longest time, but he's got a very good excuse. His dad had a stroke. His wife, almost wife, longtime girlfriend. They may as well be married. She got injured in a very bad car accident, so he's at a full plate. I completely understand, but I would love to hear from the guy. He's one of these people that absolutely hates a phone, will not pick it up. I guess he does too much of that at work. And, yeah, I do know where he works. Unfortunately, it's such a large organization, I really can't get a hold of him there. It's just one of those temporary kind of lackadaisical things that happens in life where you lose track of somebody. I mean, you're still buddies, okay? That's the constant classic definition of a good friend is you guys could not see each other for 20 years, but when you bump into each other, it's like you've only been gone for 2 days, okay? You pick up exactly where you left off. You're still as tight as always, and you're still the best of buds. Got a lot of guys like that. I know from, long ago, Marine Corps type stuff, haven't talked to them in forever. As a matter of fact, a lot of them have probably lost their personal information because I was homeless for a while. It was kind of stupid on my part, but a lot of their personal information probably got lost. And, but I guarantee you, if I went into their part in a bit of the United States and ran into them, oh, we'd be like, dude, let's go hit a bar and drink and catch up. And that's exactly what would happen if I hooked up with Mr. Wheelie or anybody else along those lines. So I haven't been trying to be distant, okay? I've just been really freaking busy. So busy, in fact, that I've actually been neglecting the anything prepping, prep steading, basically that booger right there. I've been neglecting them to some extent because I haven't been cranking out enough volume, and the volume I did crank out was, it was, okay, I was very passionate, okay? I wasn't cussing like a sailor, but I was very, very passionate, and it didn't quite cut the mustard. So I need to crank out some more content, and, that's going to be coming down by the wayside. But right now I'm dealing with this stupid sinus thing, man. I mean, I got like chills and stuff, and I basically slept the better part of today. I mean, that's not me, man, okay? I mean, I basically catch about, 8-9 hours. I mean, I sleep a lot. I'll be the first to admit that. 8-9 hours, I'm like up. I got to mess around for, about an hour or two. I'm then up and running, going like a rat on crack. But the downside is when you get sick, and it takes a lot for me to get sick, okay? I got some serious resistance. I mean, you'll see Mrs. Dude get sick, because she works an office job. They're all trading crud around with one another. And she'll get sick 4 or 5 times for every one time that I'm sick, and I get the resistance of getting a lesser form. I don't want to keep you guys too terribly long, but I kind of want to give you guys an update. I don't want to be a stranger, and I want to let you guys know that I am still doing stuff here in the 80s Podcast channel. Now, as for the 80s PCC, I don't know what I'm doing with that channel yet. I mean, I'm really not a huge fan of monetized views. So, if it picks up or if it doesn't pick up, or if I'm just using it simply for my Google Plus and Hangout and stuff like that, I'll let you know here, okay? I'll let you know here, because this is not an AdSense account. There will never, ever be a partnership, an AdSense, or any of this other happy horse mess on the 80s Podcast channel, ever. Okay, this channel is always going to be free. It's always going to be my primary channel. It's going to be my central nexus, because this thing is basically well, case in point. Okay, hang on one second. Let me click up a picture here. Current channel status is 3,730 subscribers, 935,847 views as of this moment. I gotta tell you, man, that completely floors me, alright? I do not know how you guys find my channel, except for, I think I got 5 or 6 videos that are just huge, and the rest of them are kind of meandering. There's some that kind of do something. Every once in a while I get somebody that hits on, the CRX video. Oh, just give me a second. Or somebody finds out that I have, retro interests or something along those lines, and, they kind of discover the channel, they see some of my stuff. But I mean, I'm like 380 videos, okay? You're going to be here for a while. And most of my videos tend to not be too terribly long because I don't want to keep you guys around for 30 minutes watching me basically just rehash something or just talking about the same stuff over and over and over again. And the other thing, too, is there's a sense and a bit of burnout, okay? If you knock out 17 videos in the course of a week, you're going to be saying the same stuff a lot of the time, and that's not cool. I mean, every once in a while you got to pull back, you got to take a break, you got to refresh, you kind of have to clear your head, you have to pick up, and you have to say, okay, where did I leave off, where do I want to transition, and what do I want the channel to do? By and large, right now, I'm busy, all right? I mean, I got, like, I got to move a house we've lived, well, Mrs. Dude's lived in for 20 years, I've been in for, well, 10 years at least. I mean, I'm digging through one of my piles and I'm finding magazines from 2003 and I'm going, oh crap, when did I actually put that on the shelf? Oh, that's right, that's when I put stuff in front of the shelf. Yeah, it's kind of one of those, the shelf was so blocked off with my high multiples of cases of MREs that I forgot that there was stuff on the shelf behind it. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff, man, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, is having to move stuff over to the new place. Yes, there is now a gun safe. People are going, well, that's a cabinet. It's like, you know what, dude, it's a really safe neighborhood. If somebody goes into my house, first and foremost, they're going to stick out, because I met the next door neighbor, and he knows that there's two vehicles primarily at that house. There's a blue CRV and there's a silver CRV. There's not Joe Blow pulling up with like some Buick, POS or some Ford POS, railing on the door in the front, nobody answers, then goes around back, rails on that door, nobody answers, then the neighbor hears a crash, and then these guys come nosing around from my house, for however long it takes for them to unload. That's the other thing too, okay? The neighborhood that I'm going to, it's dead quiet, okay? I mean, it's so quiet that actually there is no thumping bass doofuses driving around. There's no helicopters buzzing around overhead. The biggest noise I hear is a siren taking place on the main drag about the better part of a mile away. And that's because there's just so little noise, I'm hearing fire trucks ripping up and down the main drag. Yeah, that's good shiznit, man. That's something very, very cool. Basically had a weekend, and I haven't posted the pictures yet, but I got some of the pictures, and actually Mrs. Dude's got some of the pictures. I pulled them off the camera and I stuck them on there, but we had a couple of the nephews over, and they were literally the first guys to sleep over at the new place besides us, so that was actually kind of cool. I mean, we have a minimal amount of furniture over there. We have a family party happening in about 20 days max. We need to get some stuff over there, so I'm going to have to get myself recovered and get this thing back up in gear and kicking tail feathers yet again. Oh, I really don't relish that thought. But I am making progress. I'm starting to see dents, but I got a lot of dents to make. It's not going to be fun. All right, folks, so I don't want to keep you guys too terribly long, but like I say, this channel is still active, okay? I'm just not cranking out the voluminous quantity of video that I was previously, but I am still doing stuff, okay? Of course, anythingprepping.com, prepstetter.com, and of course, the 80s podcast channel at gmail.com. Well, not the 80s podcast channel at gmail.com is one of them. The 80s PCC is the other one. Probably your best bet's just hit me on my Gmail. I'll definitely get a hold of you. Or you can PM me here on YouTube. Or you can, message me over on Facebook. Facebook, of course, it's www.facebook.com/dudejerky. You guys know it by now. Of course, I'll put all the links underneath. And I'm just kind of giving you guys an update video, letting you know that I'm still kicking around. I'm still kicking tail feathers, but I'm not running high speed right now. I'm really not running high speed right now. I think probably what part of it might be, too, is I need to have my wisdoms extracted. So I might have a wisdom that's kind of feeding up into the sinus area. That's one of those never good things. I mean, I'm looking at the pictures right now of what it takes to yank them out, and the videos of what it takes to yank them out. And sounds like a 3-day hangover of not great times, minimum. But they got to go. I mean, they really got to go. I'm not relishing that thought by any stretch of the imagination. Alright, folks, so here in the 80s podcast channel, you know what? Eat good, keep it tendering, and as always, you know it.